Hello, welcome back to another video. I've written many samples for writing task 1 for different question types, tables, graphs. But from now on, I want to focus mostly on writing itself, the process of writing, and some phrases and chunks that you might find useful in writing task 1. So today, I will be talking about 5 different ways to present data in writing task 1. You all know that it's a must. We have to refer to the graph. In doing so, you could use different phrases in different chunks. And I'll be sharing, like I said, 5 of those. So let's begin. The first one is number and number respectively. So let's look at an example. The sales figures for 2020 were slightly higher for both smartphones and laptops, with smartphones selling 1.5 million units and laptops 1 million units. So this is perfectly fine, but I want to change this and make it shorter and more concise using that chunk or phrase, number and number respectively. So that's the improved version. The sales figures for 2020 were slightly higher for smartphones and laptops at 1.5 million and 1 million units, respectively. So this is a really helpful way to connect the data when you have different categories, to connect them in a clear way. For example, here 1.5 million refers to smartphones and 1 million refers to laptops. And the word respectively makes it clear which number belongs to which item without repeating the name of those items. It also helps you to avoid repetition, in other words. Now, another example. Exports of rice and coffee increased. Rice rose to 500,000 tons and coffee increased to 300,000 tons in 2022. Now, let's rewrite it using this phrase. Exports of rice and coffee increased to 500,000 tons and 300,000 tons, respectively, in 2022. The third example, the populations of New York and Los Angeles changed significantly. Significantly means a lot. New York had 8.4 million residents and Los Angeles had 3.9 million. Let's rewrite it. The population of New York and Los Angeles changed significantly at 8.4 million and 3.9 million, respectively. All right. So I think this one is clear enough. Let's move on to the next chunk or phrase. With plus noun plus ing verb. The sales of smartphones increased in 2020. So it's one complete sentence or clause. The number rose from 1 million units to 1.5 million units. Now we can combine these two sentences using that phrase to make it actually one sentence in a more coherent and, let's say, advanced way. So smartphone sales increased in 2020 with numbers rising from 1 million units to 1.5 million units. So I made them one, so I combined the sentences. I deleted the second subject, the number, and used this phrase to combine both sentences. So I'll be showing 2 more examples. The population of city grew last year. That's a complete clause. The population went up from 500,000 to 550,000. Now, we're going to combine them using the formula. The population of the city grew last year with numbers increasing from 500,000 to 550,000. The third example, the amount of electricity used in the summer increased. It went from 200 kilowatt hours to 300 kilowatt hours. Let's combine them. The amount of electricity used in the summer increased, with consumption rising from 200 kilowatt hours to 300 kilowatt hours. All right, the third one, it's kind of easier. It's quite similar to the previous one, but it's just with plus noun, like with a rise and so on. Example, the number of students in the school increased this year. The total rose from 1,000 to 1,200. Now let's combine them. The number of students in the school increased this year, with a rise from 1,000 to 1,200. 2 more examples. The production of cars went up last year. It increased from 50,000 to 70,000 units. Car production went up last year with an increase from 50,000 to 70,000 units. And the last one, the sales of coffee improved this quarter. Sales rose from 200,000 to 250,000. Let's rewrite it. Coffee sales improved this quarter with a rise from $200,000 to $250,000. I think this one is also clear. Number 4, this is quite similar to the previous one, but this is just ing verb. The number of people attending the concert increased. The attendance went up from 10,000 to 15,000. The number of people attending the concert increased, rising from 10,000 to 15,000. 2 more examples. The sales of laptops grew last year. They went up from 500,000 units to 700,000 units. So it's okay to write sentences like that to report data, but the point is, if you keep describing the data like that, it becomes a little bit mechanical. So using these phrases helps you to make it more natural. Laptop sales grew last year, increasing from 500,000 units to 700,000 units. 2 more examples. The amount of water used for irrigation went up. It increased from 300 million gallons to 400 million gallons. The improved version. The amount of water used for irrigation went up, rising from 300 million gallons to 400 million gallons. All right, the last phrase. I'm sure you've all used this before. It's not new, but I thought this could be useful to be included. From this number to that number. The number of tourists visiting the city was 500,000 in 2019, and it rose to 700,000 in 2020. So to combine them, I will just use from this number to that number. The number of tourists visiting the city increased from 500,000 in 2019 to 700,000 in 2020. 2 more examples. The temperature was 15 degrees Celsius in January and increased 25 degrees Celsius by July. The temperature rose from 15 degrees Celsius in January to 25 degrees Celsius in July. And the last example. Company profits were $1 million last week, and they grew to $1.5 million this year. The improved version. Company profits increased from $1 million last year to $1.5 million this year. To wrap up, we talked about these 5 phrases, number and number, respectively, with plus noun plus ing verb, with plus noun, ing verb, and from this number to that number. Now it's your turn. I'll give you 5 sentences, and I want you to rewrite them using those phrases. And if you like, you can share them in the comment section with everyone, so we will read and we'll learn from your, let's say, examples. So the first one. The number of computers sold by Company A and Company B varied greatly. Company A sold 8.4 million units, while Company B sold 3.9 million. So you're going to rewrite it using number and number, respectively. The second one, the number of students enrolled in the course increased. It went from 200 students to 300 students. The third one, the number of schools in this district increased this year. The total rose from 200 schools to 250 schools. Number 4, the number of hotel bookings went up. It increased from 300,000 to 400,000. And the last one, the number of cars sold was 500,000 in 2019, and it rose to 700,000 in 2020. All right, that's it. Hope you found it useful. Have a nice day.